Playboi Carti was jailed for striking his lover and the limo driver while on his antagonist tour. Thus, TMZ published a piece. Playboi Carti faces assault charges after allegedly striking his fiancée and a limo driver. Earlier this month, he was reportedly charged with a misdemeanor assault while in Utah. According to law enforcement, Carti performed on October 3rd in Utah. Thus, this occurred about 2 weeks ago. Here's what we know. Then, according to police, a limo driver called Carl Reynolds informed them that on October 2nd, the Ratherlie rapper attacked him and the musician's fiancée. Indeed, he was transporting him and his group to rehearsals from the Wild Dorthatoria in Park City the day before the performance. Alright? So it's likely that they arrived in Utah the day before the show's rehearsal and stayed overnight. At the moment, Carti was on his adversary tour in town. In case you were unaware, Cart's girlfriend is Gio. The majority of you are likely familiar with her from Lil Yachty's Concrete Boys collective. Indeed, after stealing her, Carti turned her into his lover. Additionally, as is well known, Carti has a horrible history with women. In addition to being accused of assaulting his pregnant fiancée, he was also charged with domestic violence against Ruby Rose. And now he's assaulting Gio, his new lover. According to Carl, the driver, things took a terrible turn when Carti and his partner got into a furious altercation, reportedly over SCX in the back seat. He adds that after he stepped in, Carti threatened to beat her and Carl. TMZ claims that Gio and Cart are bickering about the filthy stuff in the back of this limousine. They couldn't possibly quarrel over it, in my opinion. Actually, I'm not sure. You know, they're often under the influence of these drugs. They're most likely intoxicated. Have you guys seen Gio and Carti? They appear to be high above their dome. For example, they don't even appear to be in the moment in every single photo. That's on top of the fact that they're wealthy and well-known. They're indifferent. This is the reason behind their actions. However, things actually grow worse. According to Carl, who told TMZ that he pulled over to a safe spot on the Herbert City freeway after Carti ended up striking his girlfriend in the chest, he also claims that he pushed Carti's security chief to take the opium wrapper out of his car and get into the same one as him. As his girlfriend was getting out of the car, Carl says Carti suddenly sucked him in the kisser, leaving him with a swollen, bruised jaw and whiplash effect. It seems that Carti of security broke up the altercation. In the rear of this limousine, Carti and Gio were bickering over the bad things, and quarrel broke out between them. Apparently, he then punched her. When he noticed them fighting in the back seat, the driver pulled over. After they had all exited, Carti struck the driver. In addition to being violent with his women, he has also been known to push a driver. Actually, it was the driver of his coach. He was touring with Dillit in 2018 or 2019. During his visit to London for the Wireless Festival in 2019, he purportedly cleansed a bouncer. Carl says another driver for ALC saw the attack and that he was working for ALC, a limousine connection at the time of the alleged altercation. According to TMZ, Carl's injuries were photographed by the county police who were called to the site. TMZ was informed by the department that they were looking into the matter. According to what we've been informed, Carl is getting ready to get legal counsel, but his top priority is to make sure Carti doesn't harm anyone else, especially his fiancée. We have not heard back from Carti's team yet. In fact, folks, I came across another article that provides us with a great deal more details. Thus, I will now go over that. Deputies from the Watch County Sheriff's Office went to a reported fight on October 2nd near River Road and State Route. 40 police were notified by the first caller that they saw two guys fighting and that two black SUVs were involved in the altercation. Shortly after, the alleged victim, a limousine driver, called the police, reported the incident, and stayed there until they got there. He then drove Carter, his client Jordan Terrell Carter, to a rehearsal after picking him up. In the car, he also observed the couple smoking marijuana. According to the driver, the altercation was becoming unpleasant and he wanted to break it up and separate the two of them. The security guy was in one of the client's two SUVs that were being serviced. The driver claimed that they got in touch with him and told him that he preferred to have them in separate vehicles. According to the police report, the driver claimed to have disturbed Carter's girlfriend by stopping the car. The driver claimed he saw the woman leaned over, clutching her chest, but he didn't witness Carter actually hitting her. He was not looking when Carter struck him on the left side of his face. According to the driver, the girlfriend said that she struck the driver because he interfered with her personal affairs, according to the newspaper. As a result, it appears that Gio was attempting to assume responsibility for Carti. However, the security guard informed authorities that he used a martial arts maneuver to elbow the driver. The police report stated that Carter struck a driver for pulling over in an odd spot and dumping them off. Carti claimed to have punched him. A security guard then claimed to have done so, and Gio then claimed to have punched him. Indeed, who struck the driver? It concludes by stating that Carter received a citation for the assault. Perhaps he was only given a citation and not really arrested. Is that the way it is? Because, a citation is not the same as an arrest and a charge. A citation that simply sounds like a ticket to me. If you're in America, please let me know. Because if you're getting a citation for assault, you should definitely be arrested. No? Or is there any way they could just let the court handle it without arresting you? I'm not certain. After this news broke, Gio would undoubtedly post a story that was fake news. Does it mean we should believe her? Since she could not be aware of what is happening if this is an abusive relationship, I wouldn't. Ironically, when Carti was arrested for assaulting his pregnant baby mother, the same thing occurred. There is body cam evidence of this when the police arrived, and she said, "No, I had no intention of calling the cops." Is it possible for us to forget about this? Are the charges refundable? I do not wish to go with this. She was bruised, but the police were summoned. Indeed, as this admirer stated, she is simply afraid that Carti will defeat her once more. Believe me, I've been in her position. Which brings me full circle to my earlier discussion of the abusive relationship. Although she doesn't dispute it, things could get worse. Regretfully, a typical dynamic in abusive relationships. As one fan stated, "I hope this is over for her." When that occurred, she was also hiding for him. It's tragic. So, as I mentioned, this is not the first time Cart has done this type of thing. As previously mentioned, he was arrested for domestic abuse against Ruby Rose. They got into an argument at the airport. He pulled her out. He then assaulted and strangled Eve, his child's mother, who was his pregnant girlfriend. He has also previously struck a coach, driver, and a bouncer in a bar in London. I believe he did so when on tour in Scotland. I now question if this will even proceed or if the charges will be dropped. The driver may be offered a large sum of money by Cart's team to deter him from cooperating with the authorities. Perhaps he will. He will file the charges, then take Carti to court and sue him for damages and other things in a civil suit. Once more, such things aren't a huge concern when you're renowned and wealthy. Carti will not be incarcerated. He was, after all, arrested. He was most likely released the following morning, but once more, he will not be going to jail. In the event that he is sentenced, he will receive a suspended term or probation, along with a hefty fine because the charges were dismissed in all of his prior instances. There were just 2 instances in the UK that proceeded to trial. He allegedly had to pay the bouncer he struck between $500 and $200, which is essentially nothing, according to what I recall. That is approximately $300. Furthermore, he never really served time in prison. Not a thing. I seem to recall that they imposed a fine and a suspended sentence on him. Let me now read some fan reactions to this arrest and see what others have to say. According to some Carti writers, a cheesy white 17-year-old will use his mug photo as his profile picture. Now, this has actually occurred previously. Carti was arrested the last time for hitting his pregnant fiancée, and I'll try to display that on the screen. Everyone's Instagram stories are of Carti, and there's this photo. Carti is now abusing Gio. Damn it. Yes, it isn't surprising at all. You heard someone say, I blame him. He is also seen with Kendrick Lamar in a photo. Kendrick's knuckles are actually bruised in this photo, which is funny, and some people are commenting, wife beat a meat. Indeed, I'm sorry. Additionally, we have some strange tweets from admirers, such as the driver became envious. After being with Gio, Carti began striking himself. The world we live in is bizarre. Some fans are now kind of defending this harassment and attack, which is kind of strange. When he was arrested for speeding or something, that was different, but this I don't know. Buddy, Kendrick Lamar, that is evil twin. Kendrick reportedly beat his chick, so I'm not shocked again. My goodness. Dude, cool down. He's only after that girl. Just kidding. It just feels like the majority of fans don't give a damn. It seems that Carti devotees are in favor of their abusers. Whatever. Although I am a fan of Carti, I do not support his behavior in the same way that some of the fans in the comments do. Some fans are now living in denial. Get rid of this money-hungry fake. Interestingly enough, Carti began posting on Instagram as soon as the news broke. Both his Playboi Carti main Instagram story and his Opium Instagram account featured this. Now, this really does appear nuts. All of the arena is flashing. It looks like a hectic tour. Carti would do precisely this. I don't know how folks believe it to be phony. In actuality, he is a well-known abuser of women. To be honest, it's hardly shocking that this occurred. Men, he's hit a woman for the 3rd time, or is legally permitted. You mean, based on what we know? There are likely many more incidents behind the scenes. Once, even Iggy Alea made a suggestion, but she never really called him out for it. She was saying something like, oh, I could expose you for who you really are and what you really did, but I'm not going to do that. Jordan. Additionally, he pushed a bouncer and his bus driver. Once more, these are the only documented instances of it occurring. There have likely been many more instances of this happening behind the scenes, but nobody has spoken up because they don't want to damage their career. They don't want to cause a big deal, or whatever. So, take the guy's opinions out of the comments. I'm trying to find people's perspectives on Reddit and Twitter, but all I see are Carti fans supporting him, so it's difficult to find people's actual opinions. Once more though, this won't have any impact on his tour, so don't worry. It was 2 weeks ago. Some claim that he wasn't even taken into custody. He was just charged, which again makes me wonder about the workings of the legal system. Perhaps they simply charged him after they never actually apprehended him, but I'm not sure. The following morning, he was most likely released, even if he had been arrested. Thus, yes, I'm hoping you all had fun. Like and comment. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you all at the next one.